Good morning, speedrunning fans. It is my pleasure to introduce to you. Kamiko League. This is the second ever Kamiko tournament. Today we have facing off two former world record holders in various different categories, mdmason85 and RMF. My name is One Pint Too Many, and I will be your commentator for today. So, the head of the match. An elimination, there are 3 playable characters. There was an elimination pick that was done, and then also a character selection via a coin flip. So what has happened here is, I believe Yamato was banned by MD Mason, and RMF has selected as the playable character for today Uzume, which is the green character here. You can see over on the right-hand side of your screen. Looks like Mason is setting up. These characters will be we are running the 100% category today, picking up all collectibles, including 4 special items and a collection of 2 health and 2 SP upgrades per level. Now, that said, players, check the Discord here. Are you ready to go? Okay, they are both ready for countdown. I will be placing the countdown into chat. So here we go. I'm going to be giving a 5 count and then on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So as they're setting up here, allow me to sort of explain a little bit about the history of Kamiko speedrunning. Like I said, a couple of years ago, before I created a joint community, there was a previous tournament, and the community has changed quite a bit since then. And also, since we've had the introduction of tech, a bunch of players, and there's a couple of really awesome players. Among them, Cicada, who played 3 matches last night, and also Kamiko 666. Mason is a speedrunner who has run multiple different games in multiple categories. I'll get a chance to take a look on speedrun.com. Check out the profile. He's all over the place. RMF, also someone who has run a variety of different games. Okay, so here they go. At the beginning, there is a god who is going to be gifting us a magical weapon. Uzume happens to have a bow. The way Uzume's bow works is that there is it shoots 1 arrow, then 2 arrows, then 3 arrows. She also happens to have the slowest attack in the game, which makes things a little bit interesting as far as what we call SP routing here in the game. Now, SP is used for a variety of different purposes. One of them is to activate the shrines, as was done by both players just recently. There are these Tori shrines, which you will see throughout the map. Oh, unfortunate death there by Mason. We're going to have to reset the shrine. It's going to come and continue. It is also used to open up the treasure chests there, which sometimes contain items which need to be carried to a specific location to unlock doors throughout each level. So here is Mason carrying an orb. Now he's going to have to collect a second orb in order to unlock the door to continue. Okay, now what RMF has done, and actually this is kind of more common to Uzume runs than others, is RMF just did a death abuse there. The reason being is that because Uzume's attack is so slow, we have to be a little bit more creative about how we manage SP. And one of that is to make sure that she has very low health after arriving at a Tori, so that you can immediately kill yourself, reload, and have full SP and health again. So here we go. RMF now has the second shrine up and operational and is building up some SP. It's going to need 75 to be able to open up both boxes which are coming up here. Mason is currently heading up to the second shrine, so it's still very close. They're within about 15 seconds of each other. So here's the second orb, which RMF is about to pick up and carry. It is a much longer carry than the first orb, with quite a bit of peril, especially as Uzume, because we don't want to spend a lot of time killing the mobs, which are just sort of wandering around the map there, because attacking takes time. So he goes, oh, nice, and threads the needle between some of the enemy characters there. That was really well done on RMF's part. They'll be coming around here. This is the second health upgrade, and I forgot to mention that RMF had also gone and picked up a piece of sushi sitting inside of a rock pillar. Always a good place. Rock is historically known to keep sushi very cold, and of course there were no health problems associated with eating stone sushi, which has presumably been there for hundreds of years. Okay, and RMF will shortly be going to the boss portal at 1:29 seconds IGT, so around 3:14. So on a good track here. Oh, and Mason hot behind him has lit up the fourth authority and is going to the boss portal. There you go. Okay, now the forest boss is very interesting. In order to make the forest boss run as fast as possible, there are a number of techniques which runners use to minimize the number of hops that this boss takes. Each hop takes a number of seconds to accomplish, therefore the fewer hops, the faster we go. Looks like RMF for tournament purposes has opted to do a far more safe, or a very, very safe sort of routing for it. It looks like Mason's going to be doing the same thing here. So the idea being that, it looks like for the second phase here, RMF is choosing to do what we call an E-strat now. But these strats are sort of used, so in this case, the optimal one for phase 2 should be 2 hops, then 2 hops, then 2 hops, and I think RMF pulled it off. For the third phase here, the hops happen a lot faster. So this is actually a very safe, as far as marathons or races are concerned, to just do a very basic way. Although there is a V-strat which can move it for 3 hops, and then 4 hops. Okay, and RMF is in the lead, and we'll be going on to the next level, which is called the Sunken Relics. And Mason is hot behind. Okay. Now, the Sunken Relics is where things get very interesting in an Uzume run. If you'll recall earlier on in the match here, I mentioned that Uzume happens to have the slowest attack, which otherwise would make, and also we have to perform death abuses and a number of other silly things in order to get her to go. However, Uzume has one incredible trick up her sleeve, or up her cloak, which is that because of the nature of her attack, it is possible for her to perform boss skips. Now, those orbs that you saw coming out of the boss, RMF does a much better explanation. By the way, the orbs that come out actually have what we call true damage, and when each one is designed to take 3 true damage and then go on to the next boss cycle. But what happens is that if you shoot 1 arrow with Uzume, wait for the shot counter to reset. She can then shoot 1 arrow, then 2 arrows, which then means that the damage for the boss orb overflows by 1, and it's possible to skip 1 or even 2 boss cycles afterwards. So we'll be looking to see if that happens when it comes time for the boss. So far, so good. It looks like RMF still in the lead, but Mason is keeping very, very close. That death, he's done an amazing job of coming up despite that death early on. Forced to believe. Okay, so RMF is about to perform what we call bridge skip. So it's possible for us in, there's certain cutscenes, not all, but some cutscenes, which can be exploited here. So you'll see there that RMF just pauses screen, which allows him to move, and then he unpauses quickly, which allows him to move during the cut sequence and skip across the bridge, whereas normally we would have to wait for the full animation to complete. Okay, Mason getting a little bit of safety health from the looks of things. Gets to the Tori, activates it, and Mason should be attempting the bridge skip shortly himself. RMF heading up towards the third Tori of the second release, which is currently go, and RMF also happens to have exactly the number of SP that he needs in order to open up the next box. So that means that he won't have to fire his bow at all. He should just be able to dodge around enemies, open up the box, and he has a key carry. Now this is the key carry. He'll be looking to dodge around a couple of enemies here, over onto the teleporter. And when he comes to the next door here, he will be encountering also the hidden or secret item for this particular map, which also happens to be a hamburger, which has been hiding in a pillar for who knows how many hundreds of years. Again, health and safety warning. Okay, RMF now has the fourth Tori, and he will be heading towards, first of all, the next health upgrade, and then towards the boss portal. Okay, Mason is currently doing the key carry, so this race is still very, very close. Alright, onward and upward. Now, one thing, you might have noticed RMF hugging the left-hand side of the bridge as he was heading towards the boss portal, and that's actually to avoid enemy spawns. There are a couple of locations where we can avoid spawning enemies in entirely, and this is particularly important for runs like Uzume's, where we have to be extraordinarily selective. Okay, whoop. And RMF misses the first opportunity to get the skip, but it looks like, just in the interest of time, we will not be trying to perform the boss skip and just be going on to forward. Okay, so here we go. We have, these teleporters could be a bit of a monster. And Mason, hot behind. Okay, we're going to see if Mason's going to pull off the boss skip here. Here's his SP and his health upgrades, or secondary ones for the level. Clearing on towards the boss. Okay. Good job there, RMF. Still in the lead. One interesting thing that can happen because of that damage overflow that we use in order to perform the boss skip is that if you do it later on in the levels accidentally, it is possible to soft lock yourself on this boss, which results in having to reset the level and do things all over again, unfortunately. But no soft locks here, everybody. Mason's on his way into the Scorching Labyrinth along with RMF. Okay, now, Scorching Labyrinth introduces the concept here with these kill rooms. Now, the kill rooms can also be exploited in a very similar way to the bridge skip. So if we pause and then unpause after the death of the last enemy, it is possible to speed up the lowering of the gates and the transition into being able to perform actual movement again. And there's a couple of different methods for doing this. Right here in Scorching Labyrinth, it's not going to become, or it's just a matter of opening and closing the gates very quickly. When we get into the next level, however, look out for an explanation that we're going to use, where we're going to use that in combination with something else which we call Kill Room Glitch. Okay. We're good? Very true about the trash cannon Earthbound there. Okay, so RMF now performing the major key carry and just barely missing a shot from an enemy. Whoa, I can only imagine RMF is clenching at the moment. Okay, and heading towards the second Tori, but needs to stop and actually backtrack because of the SP management requiring him to pick up some extra SP in order to activate the next Tori. So this is a great opportunity for Mason to catch up, and it looks like he's taking advantage of it. Mason currently has 175 SP, and it looks like he'll be just sort of motoring on down here with the key. Alright, RMF still in the lead, heading up towards the next Tori. We'll be heading across a bridge here. We have a couple of blocks to break. So that's actually a really great sort of example of the kind of peril that you get yourself into with SP routing gone wrong. Sometimes you're so concentrated on the next task, it just takes like lack of concentration on your SP bar. But RMF looks like is going to actually be performing a death abuse in order to refill SP, make his life a little bit easier heading into. So here we go. He'll be redoing these blocks, but it might be a little bit. He's hoping to save some time as far as routing out killing enemies goes. There we go. Mason has activated the Tori ahead of Mason. Mason has now taken the lead. There you go, folks. Mason performing a death abuse, and this actually sounds like it's going to bring them almost neck and neck. This is a great race so far. Okay, so Mason just face-checking some enemies and heading on down. He's going to be activating this little foot switch to open the door before going and carrying the orb to its final resting place, which should open up the door below and let both players go in to the last Tori of the Scorching Labyrinth. After they get this last Tori, what they will be doing is wrapping up and around, because there is still one more upgrade in order to get this level. So in order to get this last health upgrade, it's actually a little bit complicated. The developer did not make it easy. So these blocks that Mason is currently breaking need to be broken. He's making sure to clear all of them out and clearing these enemies, because he's going to be doing another bridge skip and doing it blind. Here we go. There we go. The enemies are cleared out. Here comes time for the bridge skip, and Mason should be running off screen. And it looks like Mason might have got hung up there on the bridge. And RMF likewise got hooked up on some world geometry from the look of things. Actually, missed the skip entirely, but because of just not having to run back, RMF is currently in the lead, and Mason, takes a dunk in some lava, ends up having to go back again in order to perform the bridge skip. Hopefully, get it here. And let's see, and third time's the charm. Mason gets the bridge skip, comes across, picks up the health, and both our players are on towards the third boss. RMF hits the boss portal first, but Mason close on his heels. Okay. RMF has picked up both upgrades from the pre-boss chamber. He'll be going in. Now, as far as boss fights go with Uzume, this is possibly the hardest one. Hopefully, in the next match, we'll see a different character selection. Who knows? Maybe we'll see double Uzume today. But in this particular case, what we'll see is having to kill all these little enemies that spawn out of the diamonds. So that on the third phase of each one of these cycles, they will drop a boss orb, which then Uzume will be able to shot. This and the forced boss, by the way, cannot use the Uzume's boss skips at all. We've tried hundreds of times, it just does not work. Okay. Mason is in second cycle, RMF is in third cycle, and it looks like he is prepping. He has killed all of the enemies there, and the orb should be dropping this round. And this time, instead of charging up, it looks like RMF is looking to just do the damage menu. And there we go. RMF is now on the fourth and final level. The ruins of Yamataikoku. I cannot speak today. And away we go. Still a very close race. There's lots of things that can happen. There are three major carries that also happen in this level, except they're even longer and a little more complicated and a little bit more dicey depending on the enemy spawn RNG, which is something I haven't spoken about until now. Enemy spawn RNG. So I did talk about spawn canceling, which is a thing. However, where the enemies spawn with a particular spawn zone is all very highly dependent on what direction you're facing and where you enter the spawn zone. So unless you happen to be robotically precise, there's a fair chance that as you are running, things can spawn directly in your face, which, when you are carrying one of these orbs, for instance, can be extraordinarily disastrous to a run. In any percent, like personal runs, these carries tend to kill more runs than just about anything else in the entire game. But it looks like RMF finished his first carry, and Mason is heading through. Good dodging of the Doremos there in order to carry his orb all the way. Dodging around, tricks the one enemy character into performing their fast movement animation. You can make them in a cycle. So Mason is well on his way now to being able to activate that first Tori. Oh, RMF, great key carry here. Sneaks through and manages to get it. This is another one of the very perilous sections. Carrying that key, those enemies that spawn there, two of them have, three of those enemies have ranged weaponry, and if you're not careful, they can wreck your day. Alright, so RMF is now about to perform the third and final key carry after picking up the health upgrade. This level has vending machines. Vending machines hold things. Only this vending machine accepts arrows instead of quarters. It also accepts shields and swords. Now, I mentioned before, kill room glitching. Now, RMF is very careful to only kill everybody except for one enemy there. This is to make his life easier later on. What RMF is about to try to do is to kill everything except for one enemy, and here, at the last second, run up, and there we go. So what RMF just did there was glitched out the gate. As the last enemy gets killed, he triggers the gate closing animation again, but it forces the gate back open, and the enemies spawn, which means now RMS has free ability to sort of rove through those chambers as he likes. We'll see if Mason is about to pick up the health upgrade from the vending machine. There we go. Oh, sorry, that's not health, that's an SP upgrade. Apologies. So here we go. RMF again is clearing the room a bit in order to make life a little bit easier on the return fly. It's down to 2 health. 2 health will be enough to keep him alive. It looks like, oh, he's going to be going for safety health. There we go. Good tournament play, everybody. Oh, and he forgets to pick up the orb, but now he will be picking up the orb and running up through this area. And this is not on the intended critical path the developer had in mind. What we've done is normally the intended cycle is to wrap down around clockwise from this area that Mason is currently in. But by doing the kill room glitch, performing the kill room glitch, RMF has avoided all of that. So here we go. RMF now has 3 Tori activated, and will be coming up for the last bridge skip of the game, which also involves a nice clumpy door here, which may or may not slam shut on him, depending on if he does the bridge skip correctly. Okay, so Mason has not opted for the kill room glitch, but will be carrying on here. But performed the gate skip. That's good, and getting a little bit of safety health. We'll clear out these enemies a little bit. Okay, good stuff. And Mason will be carrying the orb, I suppose, in what we will, for purposes of this speedrun, call the orthodox way. There we go. He hits a switch, which activates a bridge, and he'll be running over to deposit the second one. Now, this is the second kill room inside this level that RMF just entered. He will be looking again. Oh, too good, but nope, did not opt to do the kill room glitch. Just going to keep it clean. Okay, 4th Tori activated for RMF. Will be running through. He has collected all the health and SP up to this point, including a little statue of Skipmore, the developer. So it looks like RMF is all poised to confront the final boss. Mason again getting a little bit of safety health here. Opening the last door for 50 SP. And it looks like Mason is going to have to do a little bit of combo collection here. Get some spawns going and build up enough of a combo to get SP, which will allow him to activate the last Tori. There he goes. Handy thing with Uzume, Uzume can shoot across the map, clear across the map, which allows Uzume to harvest SP in emergency situations, just like Mason did. Okay, so RMF, there we go, is exploiting a little trick we have, which avoids the spikes. There's a couple of pixels worth of space in between the spacing of those spikes, and if you hit it just right, you can just stand wherever you like and fire away, which he's doing right now. Mason pulls off the last bridge skip and is on the way. Mason building up. Oh, and Mason, it looks, has been clomped by the door. Looks like due to charging up the charged shot there. So Mason will have to go back and redo the bridge. What is this? What's this? This is Kamiko. Kamiko is a game released in 2017. It's available on Switch, PC, like via Steam. It's also available, I believe, on just about every other major platform's digital store. Excuse me, I have a kitten attacking my headset cord as I commentate. RMF is now in the final boss phase. There are 2 final bosses, or I guess this is its final form. Now, what RMF is going to be attempting here is probably going to be trying to do another boss skip. But because this final boss has one more phase than others, what he'll be looking to do is perform 2 different boss skips on it. So, again, SP routing, and another interesting point I don't think that I mentioned up until this point is SP routing also involves the use of the special. You need at least 50, but it will use up to 150 or 200 SP in a single shot. And this is important because the more SP you have, the longer that special attack will have. RMF, there we go. Kills, does the second skip, is running up to touch the golden Tori, and has completed the first run. So well done. Congratulations, RMF. But Mason, hot behind, picks up the last 2 upgrades, now has full health, full SP, every single toy that we picked up along the way, 2 questionable food items, and 2 wonderful little souvenirs for the trip. And Mason will be choosing like a sort of a different location here. Again, enemy spawn RNG can be very interesting in this case. Enemy spawn RNG in this final boss can also sort of knock you out of position if you choose to do the positioning trick. There we go. So it looks like Mason has chosen to do the same trick, just a little bit low here on the screen. And yeah, it's just going to keep on firing barrage after barrage, and because the default walking animation of these little mobs here will just sort of take them very slowly in. Oh, there we go, until they see him. But it looks like Mason is free to sit there and fire arrow after arrow into the situation. Okay. Good game. All right, Mason. Mason is now on to the final boss phase. Okay. All right, Mason, now in first section of the final boss. And Mason has done the skip for the first section, is now on to the third phase. And I believe he'll be looking to do the boss skip again. Or and kill the boss with this last interaction. 1 arrow, 1, 2, there we go. And it looks like, ding dong, the boss is dead. Good going indeed, yes. All right. Mason just needs to, in order to finish the game, walk up and touch the golden torii, and it's done. Good game, both. Well done. So, this is best 2 out of 3. So we are going to go into another selection process very shortly. So the first game will be going... Oops. Apologies, I need to undo something. First game goes to RMF. But Mason always also coming in the 27-26, which is still a very respectable time. All right, we are now getting prepped for the second game. So it looks like our second match of the day will be played using for Hinome. Hinome is the red character there on your screen. And we are about ready for countdown. Mason is ready, RMF is ready. So we have a little bit of a delay, but I will be providing the countdown here in Discord. Again, starting from 5 and on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And our racers are off. So, a little bit background behind Hinome here is Hinome is actually, I believe, has a very similar character modeling to Skipmore's first game, which is called Faerun. So, if you find the Faerun collection on your local digital eShop, I believe you can find those games, again, just about anywhere. And Hinome's weapon in this particular case is cool. She is, I think, my favorite character. A little bit of bias. And Hinome's weapon is very special. She has a shield, which she throws out. She also has a dagger, which she can attack with. But in order to attack with the dagger, the shield must be extended. And the shield acts somewhat like a boomerang, which causes some very interesting interactions as far as routing SP, because it is possible to throw out the shield, walk your character, and have the shield slam its way through a number of enemies on the way back. And yes, all the characters do have very nice smiles indeed. Okay. A little bit too early to call anything, but RMF just ever so slightly ahead. So you'll see them dancing around here, and Hinome's SP routing gets very funky right about here. Now, what you're going to probably see is, or if Mason is on his game, and Mason is a former world record holder for Hinome, we're throwing out the shield, and then as he grabs the orb, there we go, forcing the shield to go in and kill an enemy on the return fly, which allows him some time to keep the combo going after he has picked up and delivered the orb. So, pretty cool piece of tech, but this is really important so that we can have enough SP, because going into this next section here, we want about 175 SP after touching the gate. So you can see Mason actually took the time, threw the shield out, killed some of the enemies that were over across the other side of the hedge in order to keep the combo going. I might have missed it there, but RMF might have just used a death abuse, because had 200 health coming away from a torii. Okay, so we have a key carry going on here. Going to burn through some bushes, activate another torii. Now, what RMF will have to do is collect 25 more SP to be able to open up the next 2 chests, which will unlock the next phase of this level. There we go. Mason, again, building up some extra SP, coming through, and they are into the area. So there we go. That is the SP upgrade for the level. And they will be going down to pick up a secondary orb that must be carried to a pedestal. So there we go. RMF has delivered the orb, and oh, bad luck for Mason. This is actually fantastically frustrating during a speed run. Occasionally, the enemies do wander right into pinch points like that that Mason experienced, but there we go. Killed the enemy, took it out of the way, picked up the orb, and is continuing on the path. Bad luck. Really bad luck there. Okay, and he's clearing the enemies out of the way. And there we go. Mason just picked up our pillar sushi. And second upgrade of the level, which is health. And they will both be heading RMF into the boss zone. Okay, so let's see if either of them decides to try out a different tactic for the forest boss this time around. It looks like RMF is opting for a very safe first phase. The reason why he might not be opting to do some of the faster strats for this boss is that they do have to be fairly precise as far as their positioning is concerned. And it is possible, like, once you've messed up the positioning for it, it's fairly hard to recover from. Instead of recovering a second or two, you end up losing multiple seconds in the process. So again, here we go. Race strats. Okay, RMF is now on the third and final phase of the forest boss here. We'll be setting up again to do a fairly safe transit. It's going to be doing 3 hops, then 2 hops, then 2 hops. And the final boss orb should be dropping. There we are, and away we go. Mason, hot on his heels, just 1 phase behind. Should be moving on very shortly. So, for any of the viewers who are joining us after the first round, this level is called the Sunken Relics. This particular level's introduction is that of bridges. So what we'll be seeing not too long from now is a bridge skip for both players, whereby they pause just as they activate the switch, and then unpause while the animation to extend the bridge is running, which allows them to run blind through part of the level and get across the bridge before it then collapses again. Okay, but Mason is doing a wonderful job here of making up the time that he lost due to that kiwi bird-looking thing in the Forest of Awakening. Here we go. We have 1 orb delivered, which will extend the bridge to the central boss chamber. Mason's on his way, hop behind, carrying an orange orb. And away we go! Okay. So here they'll be clearing the bushes because the bridge will be appearing right near those bushes. Mason building up the SP that he needs in order to get the upcoming box with the SP upgrade in it, and then we'll be going up to activate a Tori. Oh, Mason actually has opted to first, before moving on, take the SP and unlock the health upgrade. So routing... a little bit of a difference here in terms of the routing that the players have chosen. Okay, bushes are clear for Mason. RMF will be performing the bridge skip just momentarily. If you look over on the right of your screen, there's the pause, and you can maybe hear the running animation firing off, and he's across the bridge. Runs into a couple of red pieces of jello, but everything's a-okay. Okay, Mason there is about to activate Tori. Should be performing the bridge skip coming up. Very true, very true. Okay. So we go. Third Tori activated for RMF, and we have a clean bridge skip from MD Mason. RMF heading into the home stretch here. It's going to grab a key. Now this key carry should be fairly straightforward. We're going to dodge around a couple of these little blue Dramos characters. Oh, RMF. This is one thing, by the way, when speedrunning Kamiko, it's actually quite exciting, is although the hit detection for weapons is pretty spot on, the hit detection for the actual character models overlaps, or can overlap quite a bit. So it can look visually, at least to people who are standing by, that characters are walking through. Okay, so here we go. Now RMF is picking up the health upgrade after activating the final Tori for the level, and will be heading up towards the boss portal. Again, let's see here. Okay, and Mason, there is that, and because Mason picked up the health earlier on, Mason will be heading right for the boss portal after this too. After picking up, of course, our pillar hamburger. There's the hamburger. Nom. If it's one thing I want sitting in my stomach before fighting a boss, is a 1,000-year-old hamburger. Now, one interesting little tidbit of information about this is Uzume is not the only person who can perform boss skips. However, I don't think we're going to be seeing any in this Hinome run, because it is extraordinarily difficult. Uzume can perform the boss skip because both of her arrows on her second shot fire out simultaneously. And they can therefore hit the boss orb simultaneously, meaning that frame-perfect timing is built into it. With Hinome, it's possible to hit the boss orb with both the shield and the dagger simultaneously, but you do have to be precisely within 1/60th of a second for that. So, I mean, it's magic when it happens, just does not happen that often. RMF, moving on to the Scorching Labyrinth, picks up the first upgrade, which is an SP. Be coming around, and now what we have introduced in the Scorching Labyrinth again, we have our kill rooms. All the enemies in the room have to be defeated in order for a gaze to descend. RMF clearing that room out and using a the pause glitch in order to shorten the time the gates are closing. Yes, it also introduces lava. Just so we're clear. Okay, so Mason has the first orb in place, and actually will be taking the time to break these bricks for the bridge skip later on, before moving on to this chamber. RMF, meanwhile, has activated the first Tori in the Scorching Labyrinth. We'll be picking up a crow with an apple on its head, which I believe is a symbol for Kankakuchi, one of the other developers for this game. RMF carrying the key, making no mistake this time, has plenty of SP going into this room with Tori. Probably feels a little bit burned after arriving and having to spend time killing trash mobs here before having to activate the Tori. Will now be making his way up and around next to the third Tori. Mason, not far behind, also has the key, brings it across. 175 will have plenty of SP to activate this Tori. Has 75, a couple kills later, will likely have enough to get the next Tori activated. On the way to the next orb carry. RMF in good shape, has 121 SP, will be going and clearing these bushes, grabbing the orb out of a chest here, has 86 SP left over, opens up the door and will be placing the second orb on the pedestal hopefully soon after dodging around a couple of enemy spawns. Again, enemy spawn locations can be an absolute monster for this game. Every once in a while, those little blue and orange or red firebugs will wreck your day. They'll stand right in front of you. Alright, fourth Tory activated for RMF, leading up to the last bridge skip. Mason activated the foot switch, walking through the door. There we go, dodging past the little red firebug. Orb delivered. Is 2022 a little bit late for the orb theme? All I'm saying is if you want orbs, Kamiko's your game. Okay, RMF. On to the boss chamber. And, wonderful bridge skip this time from Mason. Just nailed it on this second attempt. Alright, that's good. That should allow Mason to keep really good time. So the nice thing about Kamiko, especially with characters like Uzume and Hinome, there's still lots of room left for optimization. In current runs of this, methods for dealing with, for instance, the clearing of these little spawn characters from the boss, there's lots of ways to deal with them. And while we haven't spent a ton of time analyzing frame data for it, or just times for it, there is a lot of options, which sort of allows for a bit of free-form expression from the player and how they choose to deal with it. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's a solid entry. Third face. And he's looking out for the orb. Boom! Caps off the third boss. Mason just enters the third phase for the Scorching Labyrinth. We have a special clear. Uses up a chunk of his SP. We'll probably be doing the same thing again. Nice handy-dandy way to clear it. Like I said, everybody, personal expression. And ding dong, the orb is dead. And Mason follows RMF into the ruins of Yamataiko. So what you just saw RMF do there was clear out some hedges, and the reason being is that next time that RMF traverses that area, he will not be able to clear hedges because he will be carrying a key. So it's very important that we do that, and some people end up clearing out the bushes first, some people clear or accomplish the orb carry first. Works out to be about the same, but it looks like both of them have gone ahead. Orb delivered, clears out a little bit of the enemies. Now if you'll notice too, in the spawn locations, RMF has been careful not to kill the last two enemies, and that is because if all of the enemies are eliminated on any given spawn location, that'll allow them to spawn again when the spawn box is traversed. So just making life a little bit easier for himself. Activate the switch again, and here comes the key carry. Go. Dodges around the first set of enemies. The second. Oh, RMF. Oh, that's heartbreaking. RMF gets taken out, drops the key, and has to re-carry the key. This is Mason's chance. Mason is now technically ahead, carrying the key. Bringing through. Manages to dodge past one Dramos. Our spikes will be dodging around these blue angels. And delivers the key to the door. Mason, now in the lead. Okay, RMF, second try. Manages to get the key in the door, but this is extraordinarily tight. And there's going to be some techniques which are going to make all the difference coming up here. So as Mason speeds across the bridge, past the bus, up past these bushes, he'll be looking to get the next upgrade here, which is going to be the SP upgrade, my bad. And then going into the kill room, the first kill room of this particular level. Opts to use a special does not activate the kill room glitch, so it looks like Mason is going to be retraversing the kill room and activating it all 3 times. There we go, second time. Deals with it nice and cleanly. And here comes RMF, hot behind him. Now, whether or not RMF decides to, and RMF is going to go for the kill room glitch in order to make up the time. There we go, RMF with 2 health. Pulls off the kill room glitch, will be clearing out the rest of the enemies if he can. But this might be the deciding factor which allows RMF to catch up. Mason, speeding through, picks up the orb, and it looks like Mason will be going, yep, be taking the bottom route, so we'll see here whether or not... Oh, and RMF accidentally, it looks like, killed all of the enemies, so he's going to end up having to take care of them all again. And RMF is now forced into a situation where he'll be having to follow Mason's lead through the original critical path of this level. Very close. Sometimes running headlong towards enemies. Dodging out of the way, though. Well done. Okay, third Tori activated for Mason. Mason speeding down. Mason is now heading towards the last bridge skip that we're going to see in this match here. Goes up, flips the switch, gets the pause, and we'll see what happens when the unpause happens. It's also possible to soft lock during that section. You have to be very careful in this one because it has a gate that opens that if you unpause at just the wrong time, you end up having to reset the match. Okay, Mason, again, not bothering with kill room glitch. It's going to go through, but uses the special, which also happens to activate those vending machines. Takes care of a number of things all at once. Very clean, very good. Comes in, is going to be doing the second one. RMF just on the bridge skip. Door is open, plenty of SP. MD Mason, fourth Tori activated, will be heading directly towards the boss portal. RMF picks up the health. Alright, clean. Picks up the final item, the Skipmore statue, and is on his way to the fourth Tori. There we go. MD Mason coming up. Final boss time. Picks up his last 2 upgrades, and in good time is right standing in front of the boss. The statue in question is a statue of Skipmore, who it's an avatar that the developer made for himself. Okay, both of them in the same second to last boss here. Mason dodging around. Some crystals, getting some bad luck as far as enemy spawn RNG and just having to dodge around the crystals in order to get the orb. RMF. Oh, and so you just saw Mason use a special, and Mason does this in order, again, to make sure that he has exactly the amount of SP he wants going into the final boss here. RMF finds that nice little comfy spot between pixels, which should allow him to just comfortably stand there and ping away at orbs as they go. See, there you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, a little bit of bad luck with orb positioning there for RMF, but he is very close behind. 2 more orbs to go, and RMF should be entering the final phase along with Mason. Mason at the beginning, 67 SP, very good positioning. Not going to waste a lot of time on waiting for that attack. So here we go. We have Forest Boss phase of the final battle. It's going to be hopping, same kind of concept. You want to make sure that you limit the number of hops it does and the size of the hops. Make sure that you always have around 50 SP. And here we go. Mason now through the second phase. Here is the redux of the Sunken Relics boss. Alright, so at this point, looking very likely that mdmason is going to carry this one home. He has a whole lot of health. Way more health than you would ever need for this boss. RMF, hot on his heels though. Here we go. But I don't think Mason's going to let him have it. So here we go. We're entering into the last phase for Mason. Here it is. You see a couple of lasers shoot. There's going to be some fireballs. There's going to be some clumpy robotic demon hands, which are going to be popping out in a few seconds after the laser swords again. And all that's left is to throw one more special, one more shield, one more dagger, and touch a shrine. And there we have it. Boss is down. And Mason heading up, touches the Torii, and that is time for Mason at 24:29. Very respectable time. There we go. Clompy hands for RMF. Coming up, there's one laser shot, and enemy is down. Very tight race. Incredibly tight race. And up we run, and time for RMF at 24:58. So just a little over 30 seconds separating them. Well done. Okay, so this means, everybody, that we are in a situation where we are going to have a third and final run. So, second game goes to mdmason85. So, we are going to end up having a tiebreaker here, it looks like. Is that the case? I believe that's the... I believe that's the protocol that we've decided upon. Okay. You're not allowed to go. So just a couple more, little bit description about the rules as far as character selection is concerned. Once a player has won with a particular character, you are not allowed to go back to that character. But it looks like we are ready. The character that is going to be decided upon here is Yamato. So we have the third and final character, this blue one here with a giant sword. Players are ready for countdown. I will be delivering it to them right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So, of all of the 3 playable characters, Yamato has the fastest attack speed. Her sword swing is only, I believe, 4 frames long, so happens plenty fast. So you're going to see a much different style of play for this third and final round than you did for Uzume and for Hinome. Both of them whose attacks take quite a while to execute. So, some might think that Yamato's pathing is a little bit simplistic, but SP management is actually very, very important for Yamato, because unlike Uzume and Hinome, Yamato cannot attack across barriers. So keeping an eye on SP at all times is going to be one of the major challenges here for both players. Alright, Forest of Awakening, go go! On our intrepid heroes go. Past some spikes, around some mushrooms, towards the first Tori, arriving in game time at least, at precisely the same moment. Okay, so here we go. There you go. Yamato is able to face check her way through a whole lot of the enemies. There are enemies who, however, take more than one hit of Yamato's sword in order to die. So you're going to notice a little bit of caution around them. So for instance, those purple and red mushrooms, they present a problem. But the little orange ones, no problem at all. Have all the mushrooms you want, folks. Okay. RMS. First Tori activated. And you can see him spending a little bit of extra time to build up that SP. Gets to 175 before picking up the key. And he's on his way. Key delivered at 38 seconds in game time. Mason just behind 40 seconds in game time. And second Tori, easy peasy. Oh, I forgot to change the girl on the overlay. Very good. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Okay, that should now be fixed. So here we go. Orb carrying in process. Blue orbs delivered. And Yamato is going to hack and slash her way to victory. There's our Pillar Sushi. This level is brought to you by Pillar Sushi. When you want sushi, make sure that it's old and cooled by stone. Okay. Both players have now picked up all of the upgrades within the level. We have last Tori activated, foot switch activated, and they are within seconds of each other. Sub 10. Here we go. They're going to be picking up 2 upgrades here just before the boss chamber, and they are going to be walking in to into the final boss room here. Now, this is interesting. Both these players are both incredibly skilled with Yamato. It'll be interesting to see if one of them decides to try the more risky strats out of the box just to get the edge on it. But in this case, it looks like nope, they are going for good old-fashioned safe race strats. So what you'll hear if you watch the streams of other players, you will occasionally see them, or hear them, I should say, counting out loud during that phase, because each phase does have a very specific number of orbs which drop, just to keep track of where they are in the cycle. Okay, on to the third phase for RMF, and on to the third phase for MD Mason. This one is going to be extraordinarily tight, everybody. Okay, and both characters onto the sunken relics. Okay. RMF, dodging around enemies, not face-checking anybody, preserving the health, walking around, gets the first Tori there. Comes up and is about to initiate the next orb carry, or the first orb carry in the sunken relics. Goes in, clears that foot switch, and walks around again. Okay, MD Mason opting to actually hit the foot switch upon, and this is an interesting point of debate, which happens every once in a while among us runners in the Kamiko community. Is do you hit the switch first? It can be, oh wow, good dodging from Mason there. Looked like he was about to be engaged in a free orb carry, but managed to get around the enemies just on time. It's sometimes switch first versus switch later. And it can be extraordinarily situational depending on the enemy spawn RNG. But the bridge is up. RMF, didn't notice if he actually went to go get the health upgrade first. But in his way, clearing the bushes for the bridge skip. Keeping his combo counter high. So that the nice thing is that if you see those little blue dots, that's the SP which filters in towards the character. And one of the tricks that we often use is, even if you are at maximum SP, if you're killing enemies and you have a good combo going, it's possible to activate a Tori or open a chest. And you can do that just after having killed an enemy, and the SP, which is still floating out, waiting to be absorbed by your character, will get absorbed then in the after you've activated it. So it's possible to keep a combo going really well. RMF, bridge skip, gets hooked up on some world geometry. It looks like, nope, oh, didn't get the pause. So Mason here, oh, they are now neck and neck. Actually, Mason pulls ahead because RMF now has to wait for the bridge animation to finish. So well done, Mason. That's okay, they are still very close. As you can see, they are within maybe 2 seconds of each other right now on screen. Oh, and Mason runs headlong into a spawning enemy and has to redo the bridge skip again. There you go, back and forth, folks. Oh, my regards to Mason. That hurts. RMF safely activates the next Tori and is now heading on towards a key carry. Gonna activate a foot switch, head up through a portal. And here we go. Up. Mason now has the third Tori in place, and we'll be heading down for a little bit of hamburger time. This particular level is brought to you by Pillar Hamburgers. When you want a hamburger and you want it cold and ancient, choose Pillar Hamburgers. Okay, here we go. So, RMF now picking up the last upgrade for the level, and is heading somewhat speedily towards the boss. Oh, Mason had a little bit of bad luck with some spawn RNG though, but manages to wiggle his way around and not drop the key, opens up the door, has activated the Tori. Let's see if Mason remembers to pick up a hamburger. Hamburger achieved. And Mason is now also heading for the health and up towards the boss chamber. Good clean first round there for RMF over on the right. It's going to be circling around, waiting for the enemy to spawn in here, for the boss orb to spawn in. gets it. Those teleporters themselves, you want to be very careful about using because it does tend to sort of pause the game a little bit while you're using the teleporter. So in an ideal world, players only ever end up having to interface with it once in most instances. Boss cleared for Repent. Sorry, RMF. Just remembering, RMF recently shortened the name. Okay, there we go. We have boxes. We have upgrades. We have SP. Mason just entering third phase of the Sunken Relics boss. So not too far behind. Anything can still change. I have a feeling like RMF is going to be very protective of his health at this point, just to prevent any sort of future problems. Oh! Overestimates the amount of damage he does to that one character, or the one enemy inside of the kill room. But is on for the first orb carry. Nice and short. Dodges around little firebugs and carries on. Mason is now on his way to the Scorching Labyrinth. Second kill room. RMF takes it out, uses the pause glitch in order to get through, has opened up the door, has opted to not open up the chest, and will be going here to activate the Tori first. Now, this could be a piece of... this could be an interesting bit of SP routing here, so we'll get a chance to see whether or not the players do something similar and how it'll affect the match. RMF going up, opening the chest. Looks like RMF has 140 SP, and so what he'll be doing is looking to pick up the pro that is inside the pillar next to that room where he picked up the key after the fact in order to have full SP when going on to the third Tori. Okay, there we go. Crow achieved. Dodges around the firebugs. Oh, that was some really good dodging. A few bricks later, and RMF is now right outside of the third Tori. Mason picking up the key for second Tori. In hot pursuit. A little bit of slashing. Up. There we go. Remember, do we hit the switch first or do we get the orb first? RMF opts for switch, please. There we go. Second orb delivered. Door is open. Fourth Tori is revealed. And RMF is clear on his way to doing the final bridge skip of the level. And let's see how that goes. There we go. Blocks pushed for Mason. Third Tori inbound. RMF goes and makes sure to clear out all of those bricks. This is not the time for running into bricks. Pause glitch happens. And RMF misses the pause just by probably like a fraction of a second. So he's forced to wait for the bridge animation again, but he's able to activate the box here. Okay, so RMF is all set up, has everything he needs in order to go towards the final boss door. And Mason, let's see if Mason can make up a little bit of time after getting the Tori and see if he can get the bridge skip. That'll earn him back a few seconds. Okay. RMF collecting the last two upgrades of the level, and on to the boss chamber. So Yamato also has a time with this boss. Because the sword swing can take out multiple enemies at once, it's possible sometimes to just walk up and clear entire swaths of these creatures with one hit. There's also a really fun part later on. Oh, we're on to bridge skip for Mason. You look over on your left, and Mason gets the bridge skip. Nice and clean. So there we go. That'll earn him a little bit of time. Second phase of the boss, and there we go. Second boss orb defeated, the Scorching Labyrinth. And now, what this is the funnest part of doing Yamato for this boss. Is just get to activate your special and zip across like a lawnmower, looking for that last boss orb. And there we go. Well done, RMF. And just as Mason enters the boss chamber. $39 combo. Okay, so now RMF just ended up killing both of those little blue spawns, so one thing he's going to have to be very wary of when he comes back this way with the key is looking out for the spawn of those little blue baddies, because if they spawn in the wrong location and he's not absolutely on his game as far as dodging out of the way goes, that's going to be another opportunity for Mason to catch up. But plenty of health, goes into the first orb carry, waits patiently for the Dramos to get out of the way. Up here, and orb delivered. It's going to come back, open up the gate, and work his way down to the key. He has 300 SP at this point in 100%. SP, the later we go on in the game, becomes far less and less of a worry. However, in the any percent category, this level can be, you have to be quite precise with how you decide to collect SP. Okay, but Mason's here. Mason's clearing out the hedges. A little bit of yard work for Mason. Goes in, closes the gate so he can accomplish the first orb carry, while RMF sneaks through with the key, past the spawns, and gets a clean gate opening this time. So well done, RMF. Probably did a little bit of a fist pump there because of the tragedy that happened there in the second match. So here we go. Mason, orb carry, going nice and clean. Around the Dramos, around the Angels, clears out a little bit of the enemies there, is going to flip the switch, and Mason is about to attempt the key carry, while RMF does his best to wedge a sword into a vending machine, because hey, that gets you SP, folks. Coming into the kill room, and oh, looks like, yes, RMF pulls off the gate glitch. So this is going to be a really good benefit for RMF. So provided he manages to hold on to all that health and doesn't kill all the enemies in that room, looks like we're going to have a nice, clean way for him to shorten the distance for the orb carry. Would also at this time like to say thank you very much to the Speed Gaming folks for the shout-outs. I myself and our runners, I'm sure, deeply appreciate it. There we go. Okay, so RMF has cleared out the enemies for a little bit of an easier walk. Goes past, easily walks past one of the Angels, while Mason sticks a sword into a vending machine. Orb is delivered. RMF, probably off camera, doing a little bit of fist pump. Going through. Mason has cleared the kill room the first time, going down and around, and activates the switch. Okay, so we have third Tori coming up for RMF. Tori is activated. Away we go. 1 block, 2 blocks. Okay. There we go, and looks like Mason now has 2 out of 4 Tori activated, while RMF is now on to our last bridge skip. So there we go, door is open, that makes it safe for him to unpause. Has now teleported, and that'll allow... Oh, and he opts to swipe and start charging up his shot. Looks like he's not going to be going for gate or for kill room glitch in this particular instance, but does a remarkably speedy job of opening up those vending machines, coming around, opening up the container, containing the last level-based health upgrade. Is going to come into the kill room once again, probably do a very quick cleanup here of the creatures, pick up the statue of Skipmore after he uses the pause glitch to open the gates, and 4th Tori is his. He'll be heading towards the boss chamber after one more run through the kill room. Mason, however, is right on his way to the third one. Sneaks past some enemies, goes up, third Torii active. Mason will be heading towards the bridge skip. Okay, here we go. Mason clearing the way for a little bit of walk as RMF takes the last two health, or the last health upgrade and the last SP upgrade, mashes his way past a demon, trying to convince him that maybe, you know, we're not all so bad, or maybe we should all be bad, or something like that. Goes in and is going to have a good hacky slash time. Yamato, because of no ranged weaponry, is forced into a place of having to... Ooh, okay. Unfortunate luck from Mason on the vending machines, but eventually manages to stick a sword in all four vending machines and has picked up the health upgrade. RMF taking advantage of that little safe spot there. Oh, but he gets cheated by the orb RNG as it decides to float just out of reach of the sword. But there we go. Ah, very clean. Nice activation. So one's going to go clockwise. The next orb for RMF is going to go anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on whether or not you're in the UK or over here in North America. And then he's going to get one more clockwise orb after this one. You can see he's going to hang out or going to wrap around over the right-hand side of the screen again. And patiently wait for that orb's destruction. Disc, orb, disc. Do we have consensus on this? I don't know. I'm just a guy with a microphone. Mason has picked up the last SP upgrade, the last health upgrade, and is on his way to confront the boss. Hey, why are you working for the gods? Do the gods ever do anything nice for you? Yeah, says Mason as he goes on to kill some demons and goes on for his turn of slashing at discs. There we go. RMF now in the first phase of the final boss. Looks like he went a little bit overkill. Oh, actually, in this case, Yamato, you do want more than 50 SP. And the reason being is 50 SP when you do a charged shot for Yamato is enough to break the crystal or ice surrounding the boss orb. However, it doesn't keep you spinning long enough in order to kill the orb itself. So what you'll notice both Mason and Repentant do is build up about 75 to 100 SP, which allows them to then kill the orb effectively too. Patiently waiting. Very exciting boss fight. Many people, myself included, have been known to reach for a cup of coffee at that moment while you patiently wait for the little bat-winged Dramos there to dance around you while you're waiting for the enemy to decide to actually attack you. We have our laser swords. We have our clompy hands. It is time for one giant laser, but RMF has killed the boss orb. He is mashing through his text. He has one more Torii to touch before he is hitting time, while Mason is in first phase of the final boss, just seconds behind. So here's RMF, touches the Torii, bang! Time for RMF. Mason doing a very good job of killing killing our little Dramos here. We have a really big laser. Mason just decides to stick it out right through the laser shot. Picks up some additional health, picks up some more additional health, and it's really good. You know, I mean, it's very important during boss fights like this to keep yourself entertained. A little bit of dancing in the middle. Hey, some laser swords, some clompy hands inbound. Clomp. There we go. One more orb down, and Mason is about to mash through some text and go see a Tori. Tori done. 24:49. Very respectable times from both players. That is excellent. 23:21 might actually. I'll have to check. I'm going to check on speedrun.com because I believe. Hold on one second here. RMF speedrunning 23:23. RMF just actually set a PB for 100% Yamato. So well done on shaving 2 seconds off your PB there, RMF. And MD Mason 24:03, just a little bit, just 46 seconds behind PB. So well done both. Very good run. And with that, everybody, RMF takes the second game, or the third game, the third and final match. And we have it. Game complete. So well done. I'm going to bring both RMF and Mason for a brief bit of commentary. We have another match coming up between myself and MD Mason after, hopefully, I think we're going to have to maybe organize a short break. And I hope you stick around for it. So here we go. I am going to... Oh, actually, I'm going to have to jump off so very shortly. But I will just bring the players in briefly to say hi, give some shout outs, and we'll be on our way. Thank you very much again to the Speed Gaming crew. Big shout out to Sigma. Hey, I see Cicada there in the chat. Big shout out to Cicada, world record holder in a number of categories and all around awesome and very talented speedrunner. Thank you. Is it TKTZ or is it Tickets? Not sure. And Diesel Pilot, thank you all for watching. And I suppose hopefully I'll see some of you over at the other Speed Gaming channel for my match against MD Mason. Have a great one, everybody. RMF, are you here? Mason, are you here? Okay, I'll bring them into chat. You over at and you're live. Hello.
Hello.
Yo, yo, yo.
GG, man.
GG's.
Very good. I am afraid I must depart, but you gentlemen, please, thank you very much for the very entertaining match. It was so close. It was excellent to watch. And Mason, I will see you shortly.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I dropped key in Hinome on a final stretch of ruins, and it was...
Yeah, I think you were ahead. Until then, I was not having a great run until then, but
Yeah. And I think you started catching up right at Labyrinth, boss, because I noticed like you were on phase 2 and I was on phase 3, and I was like, this is not going well. I'm hemorrhaging time.
yeah. Yeah, I just in my runs yesterday and then in Hinome today, I just can't get out of forest without some big mistake. I really messed up that first stretch of comboing in Hinome, and then I had enemy in the path of the second orb carry, and it was just like I cannot get past you. So, yeah, I think I was like 25 seconds behind out of forest, and so I was slowly clawing my way back, and then the key drop changed the leads.
Yep, it was definitely a momentum swing. And then for Uzume and Yamato both, I wasn't really... I was trying to clear my head because I get mental blocks if I watch another stream. And so I turned on Hinome by accident. And so I was watching Hinome, but for the other two, it was just I was just watching my own game.
Gotcha. Yeah. It was funny during Ruins we were basically tied for half of it on the restream because like the restream's like a minute behind.
Yeah.
But I did get to see how much the kill room skip really saved. It saved about 10 seconds on what I was doing, and I had it pretty clean. So
Yeah, it's pretty huge. And I did kill room skip Hinome, and then I was at 1 health, so I death abused. And then I just had to do the kill room again. So it was like, what are you doing?
oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, my death in relics in Yamato, I almost never have to worry about health and relics, but I just take so many hits as Yamato because I'm just not used to moving forward with that attack on that. So I just take so many hits as I hit enemies. And so yeah, I got to 1 health and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my fast movement to the shrine because I do the diagonal movement for faster, and I just got hit.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're playing as Yamato and every other character kind of stops themselves in their tracks, and even when she's in her hit lag, um, or like what is it, the lag of her attack, like being so long as it is, and I know it comes out early, but you're still stuck there. But you're moving forward. It's different than the other characters. It's weird.
Yeah, so but I also got a really unlucky spawn. Like I'd done that. I did that movement in that section. I have not taken a single hit the entire done 10 or so practice runs, not taking a single hit, and yeah, take a hit there. 1 life, really close game in the race, so that's how it goes. I did gold ruins with Yamato, which is something, I guess.
That's pretty awesome. That's good. All right.
Still quite a bit of time to save because I think you beat my ruins by like 20 seconds either way. Anyways,
I would say that kill room skips are very important, and with Yamato, like Hinome and Uzume are a little bit harder for kill room skip and that first kill room skip of ruins. But if you kill all of them but 1, and you just go down to the bottom, and then you swing, and then you just run upwards, the timing will almost always be right.
yeah.
So yep, good games.
Yeah, good games. Zume was real rough for me. We don't need to talk anymore about that. So once it was like that, I was like, okay, that's tough to come back from. To try, I mean, Hinome. Of course, I can't be too disappointed if I win the Hinome race because that's definitely what I pride myself on and what I put the most effort into. But
Yeah.
yeah, just unfortunate deaths mostly. Like, should be pretty easy to avoid deaths in 100%, but several costly ones.
Yep. And I think it's weird because Uzume is usually the linchpin, and it's not just for like us. I feel like it's every single player that's active right now. Like I think at one point Cray was pretty good with Uzume, like maybe top. I think he had number 1 for a while in Uzume until Cucumber did his thing and Cicada did his thing. But it's just like there are Yamato specialists and there are Hinome specialists, and Uzume is the linchpin.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the people. I guess there's Imamochi who's hasn't even done any other characters and has the 80% record. But yeah, it feels like none of the 100%, none of the Izume players are in this tournament. So
Yep.
I don't know no one who started with Izume. It feels like.
Yeah, there's no one to ban Uzume against. All right, I'm gonna hop over to the other speed gaming account. Good luck today.
Thank you. Hopefully I can go at least 1 and 2 this weekend. So
I believe that should be able to pull it out. And I will do a coin flip for y'all as well. All right. Have a good one.
Speed gaming for the restream. And
yeah, thank you, Speed
ready
Gaming.
for my next race.
All right. Peace.